Hello, this is Sylvinus, and this will be a demonstration of my code. So I started by creating a function in the JavaScript called createCamera and proceeded to make a superclass. I called the class camera and I added the construction of all the variants that we needed. I made these into separate the .this classes and proceeded to make a subclass called DSLR, which I extended to camera. I used the same concept for each one of my classes, and I called them like mirrorless and rangefinder. But for each one of them there was an additive, which was the EVF pixel count, the flash sync speed, and then the IP SMAG. For all of my subclasses, I had to create outputs, which would eventually go into the index.html, which would display in the browser for each of the cameras. So I used the same concept for each of them, and I just continued to add on the extra part to the very end of them. I'd have to create a bunch of let functions for all the three cameras, which would display their properties, like the exact ones we needed. And these would be like sorted using spaces with the document.writeBr, which would leave a gap between each one of them in the browser. After this, I had to link my JavaScript to my HTML, which I used the script type and I linked it to the HTML. Then I had to add the element from the DOM to create the cameras above the actual button for the cameras, which I created using the button function, which I linked to create cameras, and I put a value of click here for cameras. This then displays all the cameras in the web page. After this, I had to display the date and time also, which I used the document.writeDate, which was one of the DOM functions that we could use. And after I had done this, I made another button which set a timer that displayed a welcome message. I just called it try me, and I put the function in the script that would make it display welcome after it was pressed. And I used another command that is really similar to this to display the screen width, which just says the width of the screen at the very bottom of my web page. And here I'm just gonna do a demo of what I meant. This is the cameras being shown at the top, and it says click here for cameras. After you press this, it displays all my three separate cameras that I made in the JavaScript. This says Monday, May 10th. This is just for the demo date and time, which I'm doing right now. And try me, after 2 seconds, displays a welcome message. And this says the screen width of my current monitor, which is 1920 1080. The width is 1920. And yeah, this should be the end of my demonstration.